Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to the Hyperlight Drifter just walkthrough, I guess. Not really a 100% guide, because I probably don't know where all of the gear bits are, but it's a pretty dang good guide. It's enough gear bits to get you all the items. When we last left off, we just did south, and today we need to clean up around town, and then there's like a few random extra things we need to get, as well as beating the final boss. So this is sort of just like the all the other videos were their own specific sector, and this is kind of just like finishing everything up now that we have everything unlocked and then the final boss. So the first thing we're going to start out with is probably one of the worst things in the game. It's the dash room challenge, and you can see if you go in here and you start doing a chain dash, it's got a counter at the bottom, as well as that pillar in the middle starts filling up. And I'm not sure if I can do this with the controller here on my first try by any means. But if you can get, I think, 100 dashes, you unlock the first reward. Oh, hey, look at that. Okay. So we're just going to stop there, and I'll explain some stuff. Normally, dashing uses up your energy, and you can't do chain dashes forever, but if you pass over these little platforms in the middle, it gives you back full energy. Every time you see I cross the middle of the room, if you look at the upper left, I got full energy back, so it allows you to do infinite dashes. And then the first one after 100 you get a gear bit, and the second one after 800 you get like my favorite armor set in the game. I love the color of it, but it's obnoxious to get. It's also a really nice shade of blue, so that's pretty sweet. I think I said that. It reduces the cost for all of the actions like charge attacks and dashes and everything, reduces by like half or something, so getting it is very, very helpful. It's just a huge pain. But the cheater's technique, doing it with a controller is very, very hard. But if you change your controls to mouse and keyboard, here we go. How dashing works is you just dash at your mouse wherever it's located. So if you put your mouse like right over one of these things and you press spacebar to dash, and you just press it over and over and over. Although I can't get the timing down. It's odd. There we go. Yeah, so now at this point I just have to tap spacebar with the correct timing, and I'll just dash back and forth over this line, so you don't have to actually like skillfully go in a circle or anything. You just have to have the timing down properly. But yeah, we have to do this 800 times. So that's probably going to be a while. Okay, that's incredibly demoralizing and awful. Every time I do that, like, once I get around 500, my heart starts beating really fast, because I'm like, I don't want to fail this and have to do this nonsense again. And then, inevitably, I always fail, like, around 700 or something, and then my heart just starts beating faster and faster as I get close to 800, and then, like, as soon as I pass that, just all the stress goes away, and I'm like, I guess I'll just go forever. It's like I either fail at, like, 750, or, like, I could just go to 2000. It's very upsetting. Anyways, that's that armor set. Pretty horrible. At this point, we need to go up north for some stuff, so let's go ahead and teleport over. Actually, no, we'll just walk up there. The first thing we need is another armor set that requires 10 keys to unlock, and I think it's my second favorite armor set because it's also blue, and I believe it makes her grenades come back faster. I'm not sure if it's like significant or not. This is really bad because so for that dash thing, usually what ends up happening is I just take off my headset and don't listen to music or anything, and I just basically make that dash challenge into like a rhythm thing, and I just like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 in my head over and over and over while I'm doing that is usually how it goes. And then why I end up panicking is inevitably at some point I lose that rhythm in my head, and I'm just going by like the timing of clicking, and I start doing it by feel. And then I feel like I have absolutely no control over, like, if I'm gonna keep doing it right or not. Like, every time I fail, it just feels like I'm doing everything exactly like I have been the whole time, and then it just fails out of nowhere. And so I usually end up losing the rhythm around, like, 600 or something, and at that point I start freaking out. I'm like, I'm just gonna lose for no good reason! And have to do this nonsense all over again! And that happened even this time when I actually got it up to, like, 1,300 or whatever. So yeah, this room only requires 10 keys, so I think you can come back here. I guess you could come back here after going like halfway through south. Or no, after... I guess there's 16 keys, so you could come back here after completing west if you did the game in this order. And then, in case you didn't watch the north playthrough, the next secret we need to get is the secret you unlock for getting all of the monoliths. I found out is what they're called. I've been calling them slabs, I think, throughout this walkthrough, but they're called monoliths. At least they're called that in the community. So I think probably what they're actually called. Anyways, that dash challenge really tired out my thumb. Normally I just use like 2 fingers to press the space bar, like just whatever's most comfortable, and like sometimes I'll put my head down on a desk or like close my eyes or something to help me focus because I get distracted by like watching the screen and always checking like what number I'm at. I sometimes have done it just by, for the most part, I usually just put my head down and then I'll just like count out the numbers and do the rhythm for like 3 minutes or something and look up and see where I'm at, and it's like, oh good, I'm at 400. Then I like start thinking about stuff, lose my rhythm, and freak out. Anyways, this time I ended up just like hovering my hand over the keyboard and like just bouncing my hand up and down, and now my thumb is like numb, which is not good because I was trying to chain dash a little bit on my way over here, and I still am, and it's not really going that well. Ironic, I guess. Did all of the dashing for the whole episode right there at the start. Yeah, so we've already been here, and if you have already been here, you can just teleport straight back to the room you need to get to, but I was just going to go through this in case people are watching this, but they haven't seen like the full walkthrough, if they're just like watching the in-town and around-town extras cleanup. If you have all the monoliths, this is where you need to go with them. And I'm going back to the start by taking some like weird backroads path. Eventually, I did not know that destroyed giant boxes in one shot. I really know nothing about the railgun. It's funny how little I've used it, like in all my playthroughs. I always just stick with the pistol and the shotgun. I've been trying not to use the shotgun in this playthrough specifically because it's super broken. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've already gone over all this, like kind of talked about what I'm doing, but the last episode, which was South, I recorded in June, and it is now December. So it's been like literally 6 months since the last episode came out. And even that I had done over the course of like a month or something. So I mean, I guess I started doing the recordings in like mid to late July or May, and then now it's 7 months later. So anyways, this is where you end up going once you have all of the monoliths found, and then you get a nice armor set. I don't know what this one does, I'll be very honest. If you come here early, it's not even a bad thing because you can just teleport back here later and there's a gear bit in that box. These are all the monoliths that you find. I think like the 4 in the top left are all the ones you find in the north, and I think the bottom left are all the ones you find in the east. I'm not sure exactly what the order on them is. It might just go like north and east are on the top rows, and then west and south are on the bottom. But they kind of talk about the story a little bit. Anyways, yeah, if you've already been there, you can just come back to the entrance to north in town and go off to the right and just teleport back there. It's much faster to do it that way, but in case, I just wanted to go through the whole thing like I was saying, in case you hadn't been there yet and hadn't watched the north playthrough. And then, okay, after completing east, we never went up here, but there's just another free gear bit that unlocks once you've completed the east sector, because this is normally like these little pillars that block you off, but yeah, if they're pointing off to the east, they'll drop after you complete the east, and there's like pillars that drop after you beat the south, and you know, everything. Okay. Next on the agenda, I think we're just going to upgrade all the guns, because why not? There's nothing else to spend our money on. Upgrade the Ultra Railgun. I'll probably be using that, as well as the standard Railgun. I've definitely never used that one, because basically it's like the Railgun, but it hits a little bit harder, has fewer shots, so if you suck, it's worse. And since I suck with the Railgun, I never used the Gauss Cannon, I guess. Sweet. Got that set up. Okay, let's see. Other things we need to do. There is an armor set off in the west. Okay, so I lied. I went on a bit of a tangent looking for costumes that I already had off west and stuff, so whatever. Anyways, we only have like 2 more things to do then, I suppose? Well, besides the final boss. After completing north and west, you can go down here and do the world's most frustrating match of soccer. I'm gonna go ahead and I would highly, highly recommend before you actually start the game, just to blow up all the goalposts, you know, like you do in any fair sport. Oh gosh, this kid's already going to town. Oh, please don't. This kid's so aggressive. He's aggressive and talented. Like, okay, that's so unfair. Sir, you're an animal. The sucky thing is, I think I scored on myself. Okay, cool. Things are off to a bad start, but destroying those goalposts is very helpful. Okay, so the good thing about this is, if you do a charge attack and position yourself just properly, and then hold in like just the right spot, you can just do that and score automatically, like every time. Charge attacks super are your friend here because he'll probably just beat you with an onslaught of kicks if you don't use them. He's kind of a freak of nature, honestly. He'll just run you over like you saw the first few times. If you don't get the goal right off the start, things are going to be pretty tedious and awful. And it's the first one to get 10 points wins. What you want to do is hold down to charge up. After you see it, like as you're charging up, you can kind of slide around a bit. Just try to slide yourself so that like there's a straight line between you and the lowest part of the goal, and then just hold in a straight line on your joystick to try to aim there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much your best chance of scoring. Oh. No, I'm probably doomed. I'm probably doomed because if he gets his hands on the ball, he just overruns you. Yeah, okay, you can kick it or you can hit it. Kicking it is not that effective. You can kind of do like air hockey strats to confuse him by like bouncing off walls and stuff. Oh, please, just roll it! You also can shoot the ball. Yeah, and don't mess with this kid, he fights dirty. Clearly. So the thing about charge attacks is the ball will always just go in the direction you're holding the stick. Which means you can like hit the ball straight down to bounce off the walls. Oh, thank you. Or like right here. If you line yourself up properly, like I said, you can just immediately get goals. I did it once, but since then, no success. Ah! Oh my goodness gracious. Get out of here. He is hopping in and out of bounds. I don't think there's a ref, and I don't think they care if there is. There we go. You can kind of get yourself in the rhythm of getting in easy goals. Then, yeah, you can like shut this kid down and destroy his dreams. Uh-oh. I got all excited because I was like, oh, that's in for sure. Oh, nope. Oh, jeez. Catch that, idiot! That feels good. I've never disliked a child in a video game so much. Not even like in Skyrim. Please shoot the ball, thank you. I think he kicked it himself. Whatever it takes to win. Who even cares at this point? Other than I think maybe the first time I ever tried to do this is probably the worst I've ever done. And it's way more fun when it's a freaking struggle to the death. Oh, never mind. Killed him. Got him. Right. That is gosh dang right. And all that for a gear bit, which does not feel worth it at all. That's literally useless to us at this point in the game. But that's just like this really bizarre thing they decided to put in the game, and it's like way too hard for what it is. It's like you're this super cool sword having, gun shooting, grenade blowing up, robot master killing fool running around destroying evil left and right, and then just some kid kicks the crap out of you in soccer. It's so humiliating. I don't really know what these people are. These are just like some random explorers going around. I don't even know what the story is here. Just them and their experiences in the world and how they came to the city or something. I don't think I've ever talked to all these people. This room over here, I think, is all the Kickstarter backers. Or like, okay, yeah, it might be all of them. Or like super big ones like Kevin Clark. What a boy! Now, I don't believe there are any secrets in this room. Just appreciation. And then here is like soccer, but different, because it's all about violence. Oops, I probably need to swap out my weapon. Give me the relic gun. Oh! Yeah. So you just have to complete 10 waves of violence. Let's see how much damage this does. 6! Okay. Oh yeah, it scatters some health packs on the ground for you, automatically. Like I said, I've never used, like, I call it the Gauss Cannon. Looks like it doesn't pierce people, and it deals 6 damage. So that's quite actually excellent. Yeah, this is just like an arena. Oh. Whoa, the tracking, or the lead on that, I guess. You just have to go through 10 rounds of enemies to unlock the next level, basically. Weirdly, if you have ever completed it before, and you start a new save file, it'll already be completed. So I already can, like, just skip this, I guess, or if it looks like I've already done this, it's just because I've completed it on another save file. But yeah, I'm gonna try to show you guys. It's always the same, so I'm just gonna show you what to expect. I think the areas that the enemies spawn in can be slightly different. But it is like the same enemies. Oh wow. Absolutely womboed. I think I got slashed and stomped on right there. Also, it looks like, yeah, at any point before you fire the Gauss Cannon, you can dash out of the animation. Oh, hey, it's not completed. That's cool, actually. Like that. Also, you kind of start down here with no health packs every time, and then the health packs are scattered around the room in the same spot. Interesting. So actually the enemies might not spawn in the same orders, perhaps, but there's always the same number of enemies. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm fairly certain that they always spawn, like, this wave always has the same enemies as the last time. They might just not show up out in the exact same spots. Actually, now I'm starting to think that's not true. Alright, well, I don't know. Just get good, I suppose. I always try to use the D-pad in that menu to, like, swap my weapons, and it doesn't ever work. That's awesome. That's not, but he's still dead, so whatever. These get progressively more stressful, obviously, but this one's fairly basic. I think the orders they even have... Oh gosh. Those were the guys I was talking about in the South episode. This is the area where you can kind of actually use strategery to your advantage to kill them reasonably. Where you can, like, dodge behind them and it kind of screws them over. Anyways, there's, like, the 4 rooms, and I think it represents, like, north, east, west, and then south. Like the theming of the area, or whatever. Like the boss, or the types of enemies you encounter, and also just like the terrain that's around and stuff. Please no jumping. Didn't realize this gun was so good. Also really fun. Just feels nice when you're like, wait, 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 you'll get exploded in half in here in just a moment. Was rampantly overkill. Eh. Whoops. The old hit a guy with the dash attack so the distance gets extended into fall off a cliff maneuver. A classic. Personal favorite. Out, stop that, out. Oh! Try to get fancy and look what happens. Ooh, okay, so after you complete the rounds, and then that happens, you just have to hang out until you die? Like, you can just keep doing this forever in case you want high scores, but I don't, so let's get some bullets to the face, thank you. Mission accomplished. Yeah, so you maybe saw it there, in that round, I'm not sure. I'm just going to show the winning rounds because this is taking way longer than I expected, I'll be honest. And I probably won't end up talking through them very much because I'm not sure which ones I'm actually going to be able to win, and so I don't want to just be repeating myself over and over and over. And I can kind of discuss some of the techniques afterwards. The major issue in that round is the minigun dudes, and the best technique is after they draw out their gun, if you do the X and then A attack, which is that, yeah, which I call the slashing dash, you'll go straight through them and deal 2 damage, and then they'll shoot their bullets at where you were, and it takes them forever to pan around to try to shoot behind them, and so in that time you have a big old wide open window to hit them with a charge attack, and then they're at like 3 health after that. And then they usually dash away from you at that point and often can put their backs against the wall, which can be frustrating to deal with because that makes the dashing through them technique significantly harder to pull off. Or you can just shoot them. Oh gosh. Yeah, or you can just shoot them with the ultra gun. Uh-oh. Those guys don't really seem to have problems with tracking. And I think every round it resets your guns to like whatever you had loaded before you went into the area. Like this kind of counts as its own little realm, you know? Like whatever gun setup you had, if you die in here and leave, it doesn't carry your setup out into the other world, and also your health kits don't come into here. And using up health kits in here doesn't make you lose health kits in the overworld. So these are kind of like self-contained little things. So if you have a particular gun setup you want to use, like I want to use the Gauss cannon and the railgun, it's best to make sure to set that up before you go down the elevator. That way it'll always be ready for you. You don't have to set it up every single time. Like, I think the last one took me 4 tries or something. I forgot to do it every time, so I had to set up my guns every single time. I'll be surprised if I win this one, honestly. I've been doing so bad. Like, these guys aren't even hard. You know, this is North, so it's all the easy folks, and I just suck. That was a bit ridiculous. I thought I was on the railgun and I shot him with the Gauss cannon, so it's just like, and cut in half. It's like, geez, calm down, man. He's just a guy. Ow. Ooh, 1 health. I don't really like using a health kit there, but I'll probably get womboed here in this next one if I don't. One thing I don't really like about the invincible, like, bullet dodging thing is it just automatically triggers itself sometimes when you don't want it to, and it'll use up all of your special ability bar, like dashing through some bullets that you were just trying to avoid. Like right there, I was just dashing backwards and it used up some special ability bar. Or if I was counting on my special ability bar to be regenerating, and I like used up a little bit, then I'm kind of screwed. And then it can prevent you from chain dashing and stuff. So, in some ways, the shield when you dash is kind of helpful, and other ways it can screw you at times. So if you intentionally didn't buy that, I would understand, to be honest. I'm having a lot of trouble approaching the wizards right now, like the big fat guys, so I might just cheese them with the dang cannon. Guns are coming in way handier here than I was expecting. I normally like the pistol for this kind of stuff. With all these guys, those guys all have 1 health. I'm usually a huge fan of the pistol in the North room, but dang, yeah, the 2 like cannons, the Gauss cannon and whatever railgun, are way better than I thought they were. I killed somebody there at the end. Alright, so the next room I think is gonna be like East themed, maybe? East theme room is horrible. No, this is West. Okay, West isn't awful. It's not awful. Honestly, one of the worst things are those little spider crab things, Howie. I don't know why. I'm trying to get fancy here. I was like, oh, I'll just do the honorable katana duel thing. It's whatever. I'll probably win, knowing that I would definitely not win. You can't just be, like, wasting health. Jeez. For the purposes of this playthrough, for whatever reason, I decided that I don't want to use the shotgun, or, like, basically I only wanted to use the guns that I'm bad with. I normally would highly recommend that you use the gun you get from the West, like the Ultra Pistol. Ultra Pistol is so good against the gunners from the West, because they never dodge it, and it just kills them in 1 hit, so would very much recommend that you use that. Wow, I think I dodged into that. I don't know that was going to reach me until I dodged into it. Thing is absurd. Those guys are really big and fat and slow, and they're really easy to walk up to and just hit them with a charge attack from a little bit of a distance, so they're not too much an issue. Just enjoying using this absurd gun for the first time ever. That is very nice. I will say this combo is actually pretty good. This combo of guns is actually pretty sweet for this area if you do well with it, just for dealing with the dogs and everything. You know, we'll just kill them at a distance, and then if you happen to hit anyone... Oh, that's very bad. Probably the worst thing that can happen to you here is getting frozen. Okay, once I just stopped being terrible, this room is actually going very smoothly. The blend of enemies they have from the West really aren't super awful. Especially when they spawn the dogs right next to you, so close that they can't even do an attack before you hit them twice. Sorry about your life. And those guys are easy if you're just patient, you know, hit them once or twice and then dodge out of the way. Usually to the side. I've been being bad about dodging backwards from dogs and also those guys, and that'll usually get you hit. I've just been kind of lucking out. Whoa, there's an edge of the earth right there, didn't you notice? Wow, he got really shaky after I smacked him with that gun. Ooh. I don't know if... I think those guys normally will try to dodge bullets, but they clearly can't deal with that. Oh! Had much better tracking than I thought it was gonna. The Super Gauss Cannon is actually way better than I thought, since you can dodge out of the animation. Like, if you change your mind, you're not locked into it. I would get hit so much if I couldn't do that. Also, if there's no dogs on the screen, I like to try to focus on killing the little crystal dudes, because those are the two things that are just going to be charging you the most. And the crystal dudes, you know, kind of run around you in a circle, and so if you don't have to worry about positioning for anybody else, really, it's easy just to kind of wait for them to start circling around you, and then just like walk towards where they're going. And that's perfectly fine, but if there's dogs sprinting at you, you probably don't have time to like make a nice, gentle, and lazy loop around and out. Hit a little crystal guy. Nice. So yeah, I think that's my advice at the start of the round. See if there's any dogs coming for you, and if not, just try to take care of these little crystal dudes. Because if you don't take them out really intentionally, like their AI makes them pretty hard to hit if you're also trying to deal with other stuff at the same time. Wow, this is madness. I'm very pleased with myself, because that was super intentional. I thought I was dead. There we go, now I'm dead. There we go. Ooh! We've gone through like half the things I was hoping to, and this video is already an hour long, because it took me like 25 minutes to do the dash challenge, and then I got lost for a while and stuff. Okay, now it's east. Oops, and I forgot to change my weapons. This one is awful. It is so bad. There's so many of the giant Venusaurs everywhere. Although Hyper Gauss Cannon might be a game changer for that. That's, honestly, hands down, those guys are the only reason this room is a problem. That and the Frog Boys, but Railgun makes really short work of them as well. So I think this gun setup might be basically flawless for this room. Oh my gosh, I'm not even waiting around for the next round. See you, idiots. Okay, I was so ignorant. I was so wrong when I was like, the worst thing about this one's the Venusaurs. It's like, a few times I was doing great, and I just get a round where everything was projectiles on the entire screen, plus one Venusaur. It all just synergized together horribly. In addition to just like the small stage, that whole level really worked together to be terrible. So, that was awful. I think that took, oh man, that took like 20 minutes or something stupid. Alright, this last one is a weird, cool mashup of all the things, and there's like no theme to it. You just got some pillars and you got like a bunch of elite enemies. So, yeah, I hope you're good at everything at this point, because this one gets wild. Yeah, that guy's sword tracking is not okay. I'm trying to think if this one I feel like is worse than the East or not, like the East-based one. I know this one has a lot of the chain gun guys, but I've never used the Gauss Cannon against them before, and that makes them significantly easier. Oh, it's got rocket dudes as well, okay. Yeah, this is going to be probably decently bad. We'll see how this goes. I'm honestly feeling a little bit optimistic after that last one being such garbage. But I mean, I don't know, this game has done very well. I'd be shocked if this one was just like so much easier, you know? Ah, jeez. I'm so bad at judging like what, like, he shot at me and I was like, oh, the pillar will block it, and it just flew straight through and hit me in the face. Like an idiot. I'm really bad at knowing when pillars are going to block stuff if I'm standing like right here, you know? It's only if I'm hugging the pillar I can feel any amount of sure. That was not what I wanted to do at all. Oh no. Why don't you jump at me? Yep. There's some type of friendly fire, because I'm pretty sure they jumped on that robot to death. Oh, I remember that's the problem with the freaking minigun guys, is the pillars are not really small enough to hide behind because of the way their bullets work. I want to heal because I'm... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And let's go ahead and pop another heal. Starting to get strongly negative feelings about my odds here. Ow, my face. I was like, I don't know where this guy shooting bullets at me is, but he needs to go. So I just threw a grenade in there and killed like everything. Uh-oh. Oh, ho, ho. I was almost sure that was like me taking a hit. I think the floor slam does 2 damage. Seems like it should. It's slow enough anyways. Venusaurs. Oh, also something I learned about the Gauss Cannon I didn't know is once you start shooting it, you can't really adjust your aim that much. You can very slowly swing your, like swing it around to change where you're shooting, but not significantly. So you kind of, like, you can't aim in the opposite direction you want to shoot as you start firing, and then like swing it around. So like, I'll try to swing it as fast as I can, aiming this direction. I'll try to turn behind. It gets to right there. This is just East again. This is only hard because it's East. Nah. I was very sure he only had 1 health. Okay, I need to do very well in these next couple rounds if I have any chance of making it. Because if I'm down to like 3 health or 2 health after this one, I'm screwed. And of course, that's the round where they put like 1,000 bullets on the screen. Oops, that's not gonna do me any favors. Oh, I did not realize you were at such health, Mr. Venusaur. I cannot hit anybody. Go. Woo! You can walk up to and reliably get 2 hits with your sword on the robots and then dash backwards before they slice you. 3 hits, probably not. So, that guy only had 2 health left, so I knew it was probably safe just to walk up and try to hit him. Angry dog box. Oh, frick. The 2 damage dealing dog. What a guy. The explodey plant guys do friendly fire, so if you can kill one of those like near a huge group of people, it's kind of good if you can just like walk in a circle and keep them around it. Oh, I won! There was significantly fewer machine gun meanies than I thought there was going to be. Boy! 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 I'm gonna go stand in this corner where I can't move, surrounded by AoE dealing massive enemies, and then the Venusaur jumps in the party. He's like, wait for me! And dead. Doesn't matter though, mission accomplished. This bridge is open, and we get the black armor set, which is purely cosmetic. It makes it so when you kill enemies, it always does like one of those violent finishing moves or whatever. You know, if you kill someone with like a charge attack, you like cut them in half sometimes. If you actually kill somebody with a charge attack like that, it can cause the little green goblin dudes to run away in fear, so it's actually kind of helpful. But with the black armor set, it's just cosmetic. Like, they just explode crazily all the time. Like, if you kill them with a pistol, they'll explode in half and stuff. And that doesn't cause the dudes to have fear, always. But yeah, looking at it, that is all the armor sets. This last one is the NG Plus armor. And I don't think you can unlock that in regular New Game. So, I think that's everything. Last thing on the menu is to go fight the final boss, who is really fun and honestly should be easier than the East Room. Let's take a look how that goes for us using our trusty railgun combo. I'm thinking the Gauss Cannon might be pretty good against him. Normal railgun is probably fine as well, but usually have decently large openings of time to hit him. So like the Gauss Cannon's huge warm-up won't really be too much of an issue. That's a mighty large puddle of blood to be coughing up. Probably not in the best condition to go fight Ancient Evil if you're also losing that much blood just from coughing. Of course, if you can smack your face that hard on something and just stand right up, then yeah, you're probably in better condition than it seems. Hey! That is... well, I don't know where that's from. Is that from, like, a walk to the first temple? Or was... I think the Traveler guy was sitting next to that when he rescued you, or whatever. Don't worry about it so much. It's always... oh, wait, nope, there's 5. Okay, I was gonna say, it always triggered me that there was 4 and not 5, so if you came down here with none, you'd be like 1 short. It's the symbol of the game! Oh, you can kind of control yourself as you stumble around here, and then before he pops in, to launch you away from him. If you're fast enough, you can get it so that you're knocked up into the wall, and then you'll be right next to me and get extra damage. This attack is great. Oh gosh. Hey, they changed the way that looks. Yeah. So that bullets attack, you can reflect all those bullets back at him and do absurd amounts of damage if you're standing close enough. He does have like a little field around him that if you are standing in that like purple pulsing field, you'll take a ton of damage. Hey, it just happened to me, I think. Yep. These things, it's best to use the Western boss's weapon against them because they have 3 health. Oh dear. They have 3 health, so if you shoot them once with that super pistol, then they'll die. This triple charge is pretty dangerous. I think they nerfed that move a lot. They used to cover like the entire playing field. Yeah, they changed him up quite a bit from like when the game first came out. I think the hardest attack to consistently dodge is the one where he shoots out the super eye laser because it's kind of hard to tell where he's going to start. There's a technique where you like stand directly behind him as he charges up to do it and you just won't get hit. I've never personally used it, but it looks like if you get that technique down, it's very consistent and safe. Hey, Anubis doggy. I definitely just got hit by a massive brick from the ceiling and shook it right off. Oh, if you try to dash, then you cough blood everywhere, so not very helpful trying to catch up to this dog. So again, not ultra clear to me what that cutscene's about. It looks like that's like the ocean we're standing in the opening cutscene, where it's like made of blood and covered in bodies, I guess. So I think the idea is that that big old purple fork-looking thing that was floating above the world was some sort of evil, and we've like repelled it. But then we died, so that's cool. Yeah, I guess this has been a more in-depth walkthrough playthrough of Hyperlight Drifter. I love this game so much. I'm really happy I was able to wrap this up. Like I said, this is like 6 months in the making, I guess, that this has been sitting in the back of my head that I want to get this done, and I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I definitely was a lot worse at the final challenge rooms than I remembered being, but I mean, whatever. The power of video editing. You don't have to sit through the whole hour and 50 minutes this took me to do, but anyways, I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this game isn't like new by any means, but if you happen to pick it up, you know, during the holiday sales or anything like that, and you're just looking for a little bit of direction, I hope this was helpful for you. Some of the secrets in this game are pretty dang hard to find, but or if this was just entertainment, anything at all, please leave a comment. You know, if you watched and whatever this was for you, thank you so much, anyways, for checking this out and just giving me the time of your day. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and until I see you around again, everybody, keep it trashy.